it's me, Renee. I'm back. So today is my Vaultathon reading wrap up. Reading wrap up. Readathon wrap up. Suddenly feels weird to say. Wrap up. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. So Vaultathon lasted from it was during last week, so it was from last Monday till last Sunday, aka yesterday. And this time's theme was the Atlantis, the Lost Empire. The Atlantis, the Lost Empire. Well, could be the Atlantis as well. There's only one Atlantis, but yeah. And it's hosted by Margaret. Oh, it's created by Margaret over at the Word Nerd, but it's also hosted by several people. Have I written it down? Probably should. Give me a moment. Yeah, I just had to check out who the co-hosts are. Sorry. I just kicked my camera. That was not smart. I just had to check out, who the co-hosts are, so I don't forget to mention them. It's Christine, Bree, and Ali. I'll link them all in the doobly-doo. So, Vaultathon, it happened last week. If you're paying attention, I suppose you might not. This might be the first video you see of me, who knows? But just FYI, I've been doing a lot of readathons in December. Bit weird. I did 2 last week, and then I did 2 this week. How come? Well, actually, in reality, I did 3 last week. What? Yeah. Oh, sorry, last week. 2 weeks ago. Still feels like Sunday. 2 weeks ago, I did backlist and Femme Fantail and Audiobookathon. And this just week that's ended, it was Audiobookathon and Vaultathon. So yeah, March is the month with all readathons. So 2 weeks ago, when I did 3 readathons, unfortunately, I didn't read that much. I was a bit in a slumpish, like, I ended up listening to all the audiobooks, didn't end up reading that much. I had hoped that last week, this time, I'd read more. Unfortunately, not. I don't really have any excuses. Well, excuses. I shouldn't really have to give excuses. It's supposed to be fun. It's just me feeling pressured and feeling silly for not reading as much as I planned to, which, I shouldn't really feel bad. I mean, you read as much as you read, really. And honestly, I don't feel that bad. I had hoped to read more. I didn't. That's sad, really. Yeah, I had hoped that my reading mood would get back up after the bad reading mood 2 weeks ago. It didn't. And that's that. So yeah, I had all the ambitions, all the TBRs for this readathon, Vaultathon. Yeah, it didn't read that much. Now I'm thinking, how much did you read? Did you read 5? Did you read 4? 6? Because usually I say I read nothing, and then I read like a big stack of books. Honestly, this time I didn't read that much. In all honesty, I read 3 books. I started 3 books. I DNF'd one of them. So, do you want to count it? Not sure. But I finished 2 books. So, 2 books was it's not all that bad. Some people have a busy time and only read 1 book. I did 2, so yeah, I shouldn't feel bad. Well, which I don't really, not that much. So now I'm going to show you the books that I did read. So the week started more or less. Well, okay, on last Monday, I had a bad day. I listened to an audiobook, but I didn't read anything. I don't think I listened that much. Don't remember, but yeah, I didn't read anything really, except the audiobook, which would not be here because it doesn't fit with what I'm doing here. So, but on Tuesday, thankfully, I got my mojo back. I thought maybe I should try contemporary because that's easy to get into and stuff. So I picked up Diary of a Confused Feminist by Kate Weston. And this one is fitting for the underdog protagonist, or character that's underdog, Milo Thatch in Atlantis. And here you have the protagonist, which is, what's she called again? Kate. Well, no, she's not called Kate. She's called. She's called something. It doesn't really matter what the protagonist is called. She's an underdog. And yeah, I was really happy to get to this one. Well, I'm happy now I got to it because it's a great read. It's an amazing read. It's very fun, very relatable. Honestly, it starts very with levity and fun and humor, and then it doesn't get dark, but it gets darker. It gets more intense, more real in a way. And I actually cried a bit reading this because it got so relatable. The author just took your heart and you squeezed it because it's related to how we all feel. How we all feel sometimes. I was about to say something that's spoilery, much, but like how also sometimes everyone feels this way. So yeah, when you get to it, maybe around halfway, you know what I'm talking about. And yeah, so relatable. I cried all the tears. Well, not all the tears, but I cried some tears. And yeah, and it's also, yeah, as you can suspect, it has some feminist aspects to it, and it has lots of fun quotes in it, and so quotable, so good. It's actually the debut book of this author, and I'm really hoping that she'll write lots more because this book is so good. And then I suppose, yeah, I picked up The 13th Tale by Diane Sitterfield. It's actually also a debut book. It came out a few years ago now, 5 years ago. Don't really remember, but yeah, doesn't matter. Heard lots of praise for it, so that's kind of wanted to pick it up. Obviously, why would I read something people say it's bad? But yeah, I started. I thought it was fun and interesting, but I didn't love it. But I continued reading, and actually, I didn't do nothing before today, because today I picked up again and I thought, you know what, it's fine, but I'm not all that interested. It's very character based in a way that nothing's really happening. It's more about the characters and their lives, but the characters aren't really portrayed that. I was about to say realistic. I suppose maybe they are. They're not that relatable. I just feel like I don't care about them. The characters, they're just. They're just, for me, actually, they're kind of too weird. I would say I love this book. It's kind of weird. Weird in a weird way. I suppose weird and weird. How can it be weird and not weird? I suppose that's a bit weird of saying it. But I suppose like weird in a bad way. Like sometimes you have books where quirky stuff happens and it's fun and whimsical. But this was just weird and strange, I suppose is a better word. Strange. And yeah. I plan to read this as a book with a book at the center, or about a book, because it's about an author. But yeah, I did DNF it. I did start it, so I suppose that counts. I'm counting it. And then I picked up A Tale of Two City. No, sorry, A Tale of Time City by Diana Wynne Jones, which is a time travel book by Diana Wynne Jones. She's a very famous fantasy and science fiction author. I remember reading something by before. I don't remember which book, but I remember not liking it that much. But since time travel is my kryptonite, I kind of thought, you know what? I'm gonna read this one. So I got it from the library, and I picked it up this week because I thought it's from the library. I should get to it, even though the libraries now are closed. You should still read what you have, so you can just return them when they open very quickly. But yeah, it was good. It was fun, but honestly, I would say it's a bit too confusing to me. Like, I would say, like, in a way, because it's a standalone and lots of stuff happened, and there's like this it's not high fantasy. It happens in our world, but suppose it's way in a way high concept because there's like lots of stuff that's in addition to our world. Time travel, of course, is not something we have. There's also like a city outside time itself, and you just kind of don't really understand that. And it's that city, Leah lives outside time itself, and then in their time, lots of times happened after us, and it's just I would say it's a bit confusing, really. And I felt like when I started to understand stuff, the villain came in, and like the climax of the plot happened. I'm like, okay, the climax is happening now. Okay, okay. And then suddenly, it kind of felt like the book was over. Honestly, I feel like time travel, or sorry, standalones and fantasy is fine, but you can all honestly, I think they can only do it if the concept is not high. If it's like urban fantasy, it's like old magic, melancholy, perfect, good concept for a standalone. This, where it's lots of world building you have to give to have it as a standalone, no, it doesn't really work. I mean, if there's lots of world building, you can't really have it as standalone. Or you can anyway have it like this, where it's just well, it's okay. Moments. It's just under 300 pages. If it's a high concept and fantasy, you should give it a standalone. You should have like 500 pages, 1,000 pages. But 300 pages, honestly, it's just too few pages for me at least. It doesn't really work. I can't say that it does work. So yeah, didn't hate it. Confused me quite a bit. Didn't love it. Will recommend it. Maybe if you're in the mood for something. It's quick. It's not hard to read. It's very easily to read. But yeah, I don't know if I'll recommend it. I'll say just check it out for yourself if you're curious. If you're not curious, if you're not like need to read it, don't. It's not like an all be all book really. And yeah, also the Vaultathon. Usually there's also always sorry, movie night for the movie in question. This time, because I suppose several stuff, because the quarantine, so I don't own Atlantis, sadly. I'm actually gonna have to fix that, because yeah, love that movie. And I own it, and because all the libraries are closed, I couldn't rent it. And also, I tried to check it out from YouTube, but they didn't really say what the price was from renting it on YouTube. And lately, I don't really have that much money left. I suppose I'm getting money next week, so I suppose it's kind of normal to don't have that much money left at the end of the month, at the end of the time before you get your salary. So yeah, so I didn't see it last week. I did actually see it in February with a friend. So I cheated. Well, I watched it ahead of time, just before, a few weeks before. So I have like a memory of Atlantis for like watching recently. I think before that, when was the last time I saw it? Last year, 2 years ago? I don't think it's been that long. Like Treasure Planet had been a long time. Atlantis, I'm pretty sure I saw it not that long ago. Anyway, yeah, Atlantis. So this was just a bit of a summary, because I'm not live tweeting or something, so I suppose just telling you everything about all the stuff would be silly in a way. But yeah, I really love the animation in it. It's very, very nice, bright colors, and I think it works very well as an animation. I really like how in the beginning, when Milo meets, forgetting names, but he meets that old guy who's the rich old guy, and the old guy like tells him like Atlantis is real. We're gonna find it, or we think it's real. And he says like, "Do you want a job? We need a job of a expert in gibberish." And he says, "Well, no, it's not gibberish. It's like," it goes on, start babbling and stuff, Milo. And then he says like, "You want a job? Yeah, but what about my job? Already given you resignation. What about my apartment? Already told your landlord." And then my cat, and then you just hear meow. What? How the fuck? like, so rich old dude took your cat from your apartment. Slightly creepy, slightly nice, I suppose. I mean, it would be easy. And also, like, later you don't see the cat at all. So, what happens to the cats? I'm not sure. Yeah. I do also really like the cast of characters in Atlantis. I suppose you could also do, like, prompt when you read a book with a cast, because the Atlantis has, like, a cast. Well, cast. At the beginning, like, they have a cast when they go into Atlantis together. But I suppose mostly is Milo. You don't get to know, like, Sweet and Nails that much, except, like, from the, like, introduction of them. We don't really get them that much in the story. But still, I really like all the different characters in there. Sweets, the Doctor. His introduction is really fun. I really like that. Yeah, I really like. I really like the. I really like. I suppose in a way it's kind of weird how the Atlantis people can talk to them. Like, how do you know languages? Well, you've been under the sea for so long. I suppose just magic. I suppose there might be some reason behind that they didn't get to put into the movie. Not sure. But also how they can't read themselves and they're so old. It's just, yeah, I started thinking about, like, these different aspects with the movie that I didn't really think about. Like, you're 8,000-year-old? Like, what? So kind of cool concept, really. So yeah, I really like a lot of stuff around. I suppose a lot of stuff. Sorry, meant to say I love Atlantis in all aspects. Like, the villain is great. He's like an idiot, but he's great because he's not over top. He's just done perfectly. The protagonist is very good. All the stuff is so good. You know what I did think, like, while watching? I thought, like, oh yeah, because Atlantis is actually one of the few Disney movies with no songs. No songs at all. They have soundtrack, but there's no songs with lyrics in them. I suppose that's kind of weird, like, because you expect songs from Disney movies. So, you know what I kind of thought? And I have been on this bandwagon of people, like, I suppose not on the bandwagon, but, like, recently we have had live actions with Disney, and a lot of people really don't like that. I'm open to it. I think they're fun. Like, I can't think before I see stuff, I think, like, it could be good, could be bad. I'm not gonna yell at you just because you have an idea that's based on something else. I like Disney based their movies, the animation movies of fairy tales, so it's not like their original anyway. More or less everything is based on something. And I remember in old times being on IMDb and watching, like, people would always, like, half a year or, like, same month an animation movie to come out, they've sort of thread saying, like, who will play them in the live action version. So it's been, like, a thing for a long time. It's not like a new thing in a way. And, like, Aladdin from last year, I really enjoyed it. I loved it. I thought it was great. So yeah, for me, these live action movies is really good. I really like the concept behind them. But yeah, I'm also, like, in the bandwagon of, like, I like the Aladdin, but, like, I would love Atlantis live action because the spectacle of it all would just be so cool. I suppose you could say, like, it's expensive, yeah, but, like, when you do Lord of the Rings, when you do Game of Thrones, you can do Atlantis. You can do it. It's not that difficult, really. And I kind of think, like, if I did a live action version of Atlantis, they could include. I think it would kind of be fun to include one or two songs. I mean, not a lot, but, like, one or two. Like, Treasure Planet had one song, and I thought it really worked with having one song there. Really, I thought it was good. You don't need, like, 5, 6, 7 songs to have a great movie, but, like, a few songs, I think that would be good. Nice. I think it would be good. And yeah, I suppose also, like, the Atlantis also has a sequel. I liked that one. Didn't love it, but I didn't think it was awful. And yeah, Atlantis is a really good movie. And this rhythm was fun. It was not complete bust, but hey, it went as it went, really. And I still enjoyed doing it, really. I found some new booktube channels who co-hosting, and yeah, I still enjoyed being part of it. Hopefully, cross my fingers that next time Vaultathon comes around, I'll be in better reading mood. This is me, saying Renee, out.